New Superintendent of Schools Meg Mayo Brown attends her first school committee meeting. We have details about changes to standardized testing for next school year. And a Hyannis West Elementary School teacher is honored on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, July 7th, 2016. I'm Sarah Mannel. New Superintendent of Schools Meg Mayo Brown attends her first Barnstable School Committee meeting this week. Brown addressed the committee saying she is excited to begin her new role.
First, let me just say how excited I am to be in the best district in Massachusetts, probably the United States, and really to thank Kristen and Bill for all of their support through the transition phase. They've made it a very smooth transition. And not only am I excited to be joining you as superintendent, I'm also very excited to be joining as a parent and as a resident of Barnstable. So you could say I'm all in. Mm-hmm. And just have to give a shout out to Barnstable High School as I'm registering and going through the course selection process for my soon-to-be sophomore there. What an incredible asset Barnstable High School is to this community in terms of the comprehensive nature of the programming, the extra co-curricular activities. I mean, it's just, it certainly is a point of pride in the community, and I'm very pleased to be able to be enrolling my child at Barnstable High School. So just couldn't say enough about the school, and really want to thank the school committee for enabling me to have 10 transition days in the district, because I was able to get out to all but one school. I didn't make it out to the Barnstable Community Horseman Charter School, which I will make my first order of business when they open in the fall. But having those kinds of transition days really gave me an opportunity to be able to talk with teachers, to principals, to parents. I think my favorite part, Kristen and I often had lunch with the students to really get the student perspective from all the schools. So all in all, it's just been a terrific onboarding experience, and I really look forward to working with everyone. And thank you again, really a special thanks to Kristen and Bill for making this a smooth transition.
Brown's first official day with the district was Friday, July 1st. There will again be changes to standardized testing this year. Assistant Superintendent of Schools Kristen Harmon updated the school committee Wednesday night.
Our students will be taking the MCAS 2.0 in the spring of 2017, and the goal is for all students to be taking this online by 2019, and they've announced that they're going to do a phase-in plan. So next year, for spring of 2017, grades 4 and 8 will be taking the test online. The following year will be grades 5 and 7 will be phased in, with 2019 being all grades 3 through 8 taking the assessment online.
Harmon says they will begin planning for those exams all to be taken online. The school committee recognizes a Hyannis West Elementary School teacher for her work. Kathy Duran was a finalist for the Massachusetts Teacher of the Year. Hyannis West Principal Kathy Amato praised Duran.
We are here tonight for a very happy occasion. We're here to recognize Ms. Kathy Duran, a second grade teacher at our school, and now was recently named a 2017 finalist for Massachusetts Teacher of the Year. So tonight I'd just like to read two brief things. One is a small paragraph that the department published in a brochure that was read during a ceremony at the State House on June 15th, as well as a letter that I wrote to the Department of Ed myself. So very briefly, some of you are hearing Kathy's accomplishments for the first time tonight. However, I've been lucky enough to witness them for the last 22 years, working beside her. So Kathy Duran is a Boston Public School success story. Ms. Duran thrived during the creation of Madison Park's music division during the busing crisis of the 70s. She is an alumnus of Berklee College of Music and received her master's degree of education in creative arts in learning from Lesley University. The NAACP honored Kathy as Educator of the Year in 2013 for the betterment of mankind. Kathy Duran believes family is the key, both her own and her students. This woman not only weaves compassion into the curriculum, Ms. Duran empowers her students simply by believing in them and by providing a public platform for them to raise their voices through the writing and delivery of motivational speeches and poetry that honor equity, justice, and peace. Ms. Duran considers her greatest contribution to the community to be the students who pass her way. Through service learning projects year after year, they learn firsthand the rewards of being a contributing member of society. And Kathy is also a champion for the American Diabetes Association, a cause very close to her
Duran
heart.
talked about her teaching career and said thanks to so many who have helped her along the way.
It's with great humility that I stand before you because I am only one of many who dedicate themselves to the art of teaching in the District of Barnstable. I want to acknowledge Principal Kathy Amato, Interim Superintendent Bill Butler, thanks Bill, and Reading Specialist Linda Silk for supporting me through the process. It's a very long, arduous process. Thank you to my colleagues, many of whom who are here today, the High West families. I couldn't do it without you if you're tuning in. And my own precious family, for without them, I would not stand here. They are my inspiration and have shared me wholeheartedly with the High West community for over 20 years. To the students I serve, I say, you are somebody. You are the leaders of tomorrow, and I believe in you. And in the words of my former student and local hero, Malachi Akperi, quote, just put your mind to it. It's what we in the profession call effective effort. I have his quote hanging at the front of my classroom. There's no secret to my success. I've got it down to 3 words: compassion, collaboration, and as you've heard, family, in the broadest sense of the term. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be in a position where I can positively affect the lives of others in our community. As a part of the Teacher of the Year process, I was asked, what do you think about education today? And my reply was, this year has been the most challenging and the most rewarding in my 20-plus year career. It's imperative to spread this wealth equitably across the district. You see, this year, approximately only 10% of elementary teachers were blessed with classrooms that were close to 100% English language learners. Following a newly implemented model. This meant at Hyannis West, for example, where 45% of the population is learning to speak English as a second language, 2 classrooms per grade level, K to 3, were 90 to 100% English language learners, while 2 to 3 classes at every grade level had no English language learners at all. There has been a lot of talk about de facto segregation within the District of Barnstable for decades, based mostly on socioeconomic factors. It appears that now, perhaps another layer of segregation based on primary language spoken at home is being manufactured. Equity in education is the reason I chose this field. If I truly am, as the Board of Education describes me, a Boston Public School success story as a result of forced desegregation, and it was a violent road, let me tell you, then I have no choice to raise my voice on this issue today. I've been described as a teacher who weaves compassion into the curriculum, and of that I am most proud. I teach that while empathy is to feel for another, compassion is to take action to improve another's lot. In the words of a fellow Mexican-American, Cesar Chavez, let me say, we cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about the progress and prosperity for our community. Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others, for their sakes and for our own. And yes, it can be done, and I look forward to talking to you about that in the future.
And congratulations, Kathy. We are so grateful for your service. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 8 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will have our weekly arts and culture segment. We'll meet some very sweet pets looking for some forever homes. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.